Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys are all well, inshallah. The others are still coming, but we'll start off. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're starting a new chapter today, and that is Babu Salat al-Marid. This is the Salah of a sick person. How does a sick person perform their Salah? So, as we took in Kitab al-Salah, we said that a person performs their salah while standing and then they make ruku, they make sujood, etc. So the default is you perform your salah standing, you make ruku fully, and you make sujood fully. Thereafter, if a person is unable to stand, okay, then they are allowed to sit. So number one is the default. Let's say you're able to do everything. Number two is you're unable to stand. However, you can make ruku' and sujood. So here, they say that it's better a person performs their salah sitting down on the floor so they can make sajda fully. Uh, they can make sajda fully and they can make ruku' halfway. Or some of them say that if he can make ruku' fully, then he should make ruku' fully and he should make sajda fully. The third is if a person is unable to make ruku and sujood, okay? Here in the Hanafi madhab, they allow him to sit. So here you must remember, let's say a person is able to stand, but they unable to make ruku and sujood. In the Hanafi madhab, they say that a person is allowed to sit and then they make ruku just by bowing a little bit and sajda by bowing a little bit more. Okay? In the other madhahib, they say that if a person is able to stand, then he should stand. And as for ruku, then he can sit and make his ruku. As for sujood, he can sit and make his sujood. So there is two opinions you've got to remember. Okay? Then they make mention of a mas'ala. If a person is performing salah sitting and they need to make sajda. So for example, they can't go all the way down. So let's say they've started like this where I am. When they make ruku, they lower their head or bow their head a little bit. Sami Allahu liman hamida, lift it up. And then for sajda, Allahu Akbar, they go a little bit lower than ruku. Here, a person, it's not recommended. In fact, it's disliked for a person to take a pillow or anything hard in order to put on their head to lift it. That's not allowed. Rather, as he's making ruku or sajda, he just keeps his hands on his knees and he lowers his head. That's all. He doesn't have to make his head touch anything, either a pillow or a piece of wood or a plank, etc. So you must bear that in mind. Thereafter, if a person is unable to perform salah sitting, then he can perform salah lying down, where his legs are facing towards the Qibla. For example, these are his legs facing towards the Qibla, and he performs his salah lying down as best as he can. If he's on one of his sides, if he's on the right side, for example, facing Qibla, then there's no harm, inshallah. Okay. Thereafter, in the Hanafi madhab, this is where they stop. Okay. So you read salah either properly or you sit and make ruku and sajda properly, or you sit the whole way, or if you're unable to, then you lie down. Thereafter, if a person is still unable to perform salah, in the Hanafi madhab, they say that he shouldn't make salah with his eyes or with his eyebrow or with his eyelashes or with just the niyyah of salah. Rather, they say he shouldn't make salah, and whenever he's able to, then he makes it up. Okay, then he makes qada. So opinions in the other madhahib where a person can still perform salah by a movement of his eye, etc. Okay. Thereafter, they speak about mas'ala, which ties into this because of the person would be sick and there's qada involved. if a person becomes unconscious, okay, and what's added to that is if they lose, a person becomes unconscious or they become insane, they become mental, etc. And they had to miss some salah. Included in this would be somebody went for an operation and they gave them anesthetic. If they had to miss less than 5 salah, okay, less than 5 salah, then they must make qada and make it up. Okay. Why? Because it's easy to catch up 5 salawat. And if they had to miss more than 5 salah, i.e., 6 and above, okay? If they had to miss more than 5 salah, which is 6 and above, due to them being unconscious or due to a person, let's say they had a mental episode, etc., then here the person doesn't have to make qada. Why? Because they say there's mashaqqa, there's difficulty. So they say that it's similar to the ruling of a woman in hayd. Woman in hayd who misses a salah, she doesn't have to make qada. So similarly here, in the Hanafi madhab, more than 5 salawat, if a person misses due to them being unconscious, etc., then they don't have to make up that salah. So just to recap quickly, we said the default is a person reads their salah fully, stand properly, make ruku, make sujood. Unable to make ruku, unable to stand, then you can sit, and it's better to sit on the floor so you can make sajda properly. That's what they say. And if you're unable to make ruku and sujood, the Hanafi madhab allow you to sit from the very beginning. Why? So let's say a person is able to stand, but they're unable to make ruku or sujood. The Hanafi madhab says that they can sit because the only reason, one of the main reasons they are standing is so that they can go down into prostration. And here they're unable to. So it's okay if they sit. The other madhab say if he can stand, then he should stand, and only when it comes to ruku and sajda should he use his chair, for example. Thereafter, you've got if he's unable to sit also, he performs salah lying down. And if he's unable to perform salah while lying down, the Hanafi madhab, they say that he doesn't perform salah now. He waits until he becomes better, etc. He doesn't perform salah with his eyes, his eyebrow, etc. And thereafter, they speak about a person who becomes unconscious, loses their memory, etc. If it's less than 5 salah, they make qada. If it's more than 5 salah, then they don't make qada. This is to do with salatul marid. Also, important to note is that when you're making your actions, so let's say you can't perform a salah fully, you're performing salah sitting. As you're making ruku, you bow a little bit and your sajda is more. Also, when you're going for sajda, whilst you're sitting, for example, let's say you're sitting on a chair, you don't put your hands out to float in the air. You keep your hands on your knees and you make sajda. Also, you don't lift up a pillow or anything else to try and put on your head. And after this chapter, there's sujood tilawa, a person making sajda for certain ayat which they recited, and then inshallah after that we've only got a few more